obviously lots of speculation about your future as a Winnipeg Jet. You're an RFA going into this summer. Where do things stand from your perspective?
Yeah, to be honest, I'm still processing the season. I'm still processing the playoffs. I haven't really had those conversations with my agent yet. They'll come up soon enough. But I haven't put much thought into anything yet. Still thinking about the playoffs in the season.
There's so much out there, and obviously with social media these days, it's hard to escape that. But there's people that say Pierre-Luc Dubois is as good as gone from this organization. What do you say to that suggestion?
Yeah, you're right. There's a lot of fake things out there. A lot of people saying they heard this or they heard that, or you ask these people. I mean, at the end of the day, if I haven't said anything or done anything, it's just speculation. Like I said, I haven't made a decision. We just lost. Season just ended 2 days ago. People speculated all year when nothing new was coming up. Nothing new was happening. I mean, people speculate all the time. I can't control that. Like I said, I haven't put much thought into anything yet.
So last one I'll ask on that, but is a long-term future with the Winnipeg Jets still something that you would entertain?
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I haven't put much thought into anything. It's been tough all year, having the 1 year deal, but I think personally, my mind was always set on just helping this team win game by game and not thinking too far into the future of what can happen. When you have that long-term security, you can think in the future a bit more. This year, I was just thinking one game at a time, one day at a time. And to come back really to your question, like I said, I just really haven't put much thought into anything. These conversations will come up with my agent, with Chevy,
Pierre-Luc, what have you experienced this season under a new coach, different system, that sort of enters the equation for when you will need to make a decision sometime before July 1st?
Yeah, well, I mean, first, like this year, obviously disappointing ending, but this season we made the playoffs. Last year we didn't. It was very disappointing, frustrating last year. There's some good moments this year. Learning to play with the new coaching staff was great. They're all great people. The group, I think we took steps in the right direction this year, and that was great to see. It was fun to be a part of. There's obviously we're here today because we lost. So today is not a great day, but there's also great moments, positive moments throughout the season that we can't forget about.
I'd just like to ask you about, I guess, your growth as a player, because at the start of the season you said that you wanted to be a guy that was put into situations like late-minute situations, whether trailing or leading. How does that factor into your growth? How does that factor into your progress as a player that points to a possible future longer term with Winnipeg?
I think this year, I think you grow every year, and sometimes it's on the ice, sometimes it's mentally. I think this year, I learned a lot on the ice, and I learned a lot off the ice. I think I took steps in that direction. But you're never done learning. You can't ever be done learning. You always want to be learning. You always want to be put in new situations and in different positions that maybe you're uncomfortable in, to one day being comfortable. So for me this year, I think I took steps in that direction.
Pierre-Luc, how much do you think of what happened in the off-season, this perceived desire that you wanted to go to Montreal, obviously your contract status throughout the year? How much of a distraction do you think that was for you and the team overall this season?
I don't think it was for the team. I don't think it was for me either. Like I said, people speculated all year. There's new rumors coming out every month, and nothing new was happening. People just coming up with different stories, or same story, different variation of it. I I didn't say anything throughout the season. Nothing happened throughout the season, you know. So I don't think it was a distraction. I didn't. For me personally, I didn't let it become a distraction. You know, I can't control what people say. So.
What did you make of Rick Bowness's comments, and how did you feel about your performance in Game 5?
Yeah, I mean, first, my performance, it definitely wasn't my best game of the series. I think, you know, it's a combination of, I think it might have been their best game of the series and our worst game of the series. That's what you get. You know, it was a tough game. They played well, but, you know, I have no problem with the coach saying what he wants to say. We're all entitled to our opinions. I would just love to hear it face to face and not through you guys after the game. That's the only thing. You know, it happened again 2 months or something before. That's the only thing, but everybody's entitled to their opinion. You don't have to agree with it, but you know, he can come up and say whatever he wants.
Big theme coming into this season was accountability. You know, whether it was players holding players accountability, coaches holding players accountability. With the emergence of Rick, obviously, it was supposed to, you know, the previous guy wasn't as consistent. That seemed to be the big issue. I'm wondering how, you know, with what's happened with Rick, it seems like you mentioned it's not so much the message, it's the delivery of the message. I would argue everyone before this, it was not only the delivery of the message, but the message too was disagreed with. And I'm curious how you felt the team handled accountability throughout the season, both from a player-to-player perspective and a coach-to-player perspective.
Yeah, I think accountability can be an uncomfortable conversation sometimes because, you know, it requires you to look at yourself in the mirror and sometimes blame yourself. I think to grow and to become the team that we want to become, it requires a lot of accountability. You know, in practice, in games, conversations, and I think we took a step in that direction this year. I think there's progress, but we can still keep going in that direction. You know, we can have the coaches that hold us accountable, but we can also the players themselves and hold each other accountable. You know, I think, like I said, we took steps in that direction this year, and we can be happy about that. But we can keep doing that in the future.
Pickle. You know, obviously you'd made your way back. You had the non-contact jersey. Just how close were you to getting back on the ice? You know, maybe even a time frame of where in the playoffs you could have come back, and just obviously your overall thoughts and feelings about the season and having, you know, a great start and ultimately ending with an injury.
Yeah, feeling really, really good. It was great to get back on the ice there for the last, 3 weeks or whatever it was, and it was coming along really well. Feeling really, really good on the ice, and I feel like we're getting pretty close to, making a return. I don't know the exact day of what it would be or the timeline, but it was based on how I was feeling in the gym and on the ice. I was, really happy with how it was coming. To answer the later part of that, of how the season, I was, really pleased with, how we were doing and, how I was learning and, how my game was developing and playing. And it was a great first half of the year, and I had so much fun and had just such a blast playing. Got the opportunity to play with a lot of, special players and learned a lot from them. And, obviously to have an injury to end your season, it sucks, and it was definitely there were some tough times, and it's just a tough way to end your year, but on a positive note, I'm feeling really, really good going into the summer, and have my eyes on rehabbing really good and just working really hard this summer and preparing for September.